Hey guys, welcome to Site Lap for Unadilla. I'm your host, Brent Bowser. We're here today with same guy as usual, Jeff Beaver. What's going on, Jeff? How are you, man?
Good, man. Had a nice little break from all the moto, dude. Ready to get back to watching some racing. I am not going to Unadilla. I'm heading to Nashville in the morning with my wife for some party time. So hope everybody out there has a good time. We'll catch up with you at Bud's.
So everybody else had 2 weeks off, so you're getting a third. So I guess special circumstances for special people. I see how it is. No, enjoy it though.
Special ed, dude. I just got off a month turnaround, dude. I'm dialed, man. I need a little time.
For sure. Before we go into talking about Unadilla, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors here at Whiskey Throttle Media. Rock and Turf, if you're in the market for artificial grass, changing mats, things like that, check out Rock and Turf. Maxxis Tires, Speed Strap, Factory Connection, UR Water, Baja Designs, and hopefully we can be picking up some more soon. So thanks to those guys for jumping on board and sponsoring us here at Whiskey Throttle Media. But yeah, man, Unadilla, we got a lot of things to talk about. But first, talk about the track and the weather. Looks like they're going to be getting some rain on Thursday and Friday. And originally, I was checking the weather earlier in the week, and it looked like it was going to rain on Saturday, but it's not now. So maybe some moisture from Thursday, Friday might make the track. We already know that track's pretty ruddy as it is. So, but at least we're going to avoid a potential mutter on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be gnarly out there, and if it's, I mean, upper state New York this time of year, it's humid. I mean, you better bring some monkey butt powder because your nuts are gonna be sticking to your thighs. So, kind of picked a good one, maybe not to go, but it's such a fun round. If you ever get a chance to go, that place is unreal. The countryside up there is just badass. Take some time to tour around it. The track, the people, it's insane. Highly recommend it. Kind of bummed I'm not going, but getting divorced would suck too. So I guess
Yeah,
have to see.
it's a lot cheaper to stay home. Um, and that's one thing about the track that you mentioned. It's very, picturesque with all the scenery, and also, I mean, some of the footage you could get from there with the sky shot jump and all the uphills and downhills and things like that. I mean, you're missing out on that.
That
But
was the one jump I was looking forward to filming this year was
so
Sky
sick,
Shot, and
so sick,
I
dude.
gotta wait another year.
Yeah, well, it's cool. We'll see a dry racetrack, which is always nice, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of the mud conditions, so looking forward to the weekend. A couple of storylines I want to talk about before we kind of go through the classes for the 450 class. Some of the things that jumped out to me is obviously Ken Roczen's coming back this weekend. He's going to race a few of these last outdoor nationals and even race what I heard a 250 at Ironman in a couple of weeks. But he's back this weekend. And yeah, we've seen him come back last year at High Point where he ran with Jet, had set the fastest qualifying time and had some issues in the motos, but he ran up there with Jet, both motos. So yeah, Roczen coming back for this weekend. What do you anticipate, or where do you anticipate him being? You think he'll be up top with those guys up front, Chase and Hunter, or do you think he'll be off a little bit since he hasn't been on the bike for a while, or just Kenny's just Kenny and he's going to do his thing?
I think he's just gonna do his thing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's been out for quite a while,
Yeah,
but at the same time, he's one of those guys who can just come back and just start swinging. So
yeah.
uh, I don't even want to put my finger on where that one's going to land. I think he'll definitely be top five guy. But does he come out and just completely shake things up and smoke Chase? I don't think so, but think he'll I think he'll surprise a few people here and there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see his name up top in practice. You know how Kenny is. He's always super fast qualifying. Even in the motos, he gets out front. He has that sprint speed that is really hard to match. But I think Chase is pretty smart, and we've seen it this summer where he really hasn't. Once Jet went out, he really hasn't rushed things. He kind of lets the moto come to him. So even if Kenny gets out front with a whole shot and pulls away a little bit, I think Chase will methodically make his way up to Kenny with his speed, but we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. Something new for the series. Again, since Jet's been out, it's really been the Chase show. Hunter's been, up there, but he had a bad Washougal. I'm also curious for Hunter. Washougal clearly wasn't what he was looking for, and after the race, he said he was going to get some blood work done to see maybe, it's his rookie season, the 450 class. I'm sure that all these races are taking a toll on him, but I'm also wondering just to see if anything came out of that blood work and if
I think Chase, well rested, kind of knows what he needs to do. He's been back on the bike, I think, for a couple days last I saw. So I think he's just going to come out and continue doing what he's doing. And at this point, he's got 3 races left to go. Don't do anything stupid, right? I don't think anybody's anywhere close to him in points. So
no, he's got a
he's,
he's got a 28-point lead over Hunter, so he's got over a
yeah.
moto.
So
Mhm.
if even if he went 2-2, the rest of them, I mean, here I go doing math again,
Here you
Denny.
go.
If you're paying attention, he's still got enough in the tank if he went 2-2 the rest of the way out to win it pretty comfortably. And I don't think there's anybody who can consistently beat him. So
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think that's as long as he doesn't take a dirt nap or tuck the front end, I think he'll be all right. And then Hunter, who knows? Dude, I hope he figured it out because it was exciting when he was giving it to everybody at the beginning of the year. And then, where's Jay Coop at? This is his hometown race,
Yeah.
so
Yep. Hmm.
New
Yeah.
York, baby.
I know it might be, Hunter lost a lot of points at Washougal. We haven't seen him have that kind of ride in the 450 class outdoors. It just, again, I don't know if he didn't gel with the track or he mentioned, how his body was feeling. All things, combined could have made for a bad weekend at Washougal. So he lost a lot of points. I think he went 4 or 5 there. So yeah, not an easy task for Hunter to claw back into this thing, especially like you mentioned, Jay Coop, home track. He's gonna be fired up trying to get at the whole shot run up front, and then with Roczen in the mix, and also with AP and Anderson still there. Yeah, it's not an easy task, and it'll be interesting to see if Hunter can claw his way back and get some points back, or if this is just going to be the chase show for the rest of the year. So I'm just excited to see Kenny back, see where he slots in, give us something new, and maybe a battle that we haven't seen. And I could see him finishing second or third overall too, right? With the speed he has. But again, we'll find out on the weekend. For the 250 class, a couple things that uh, jump out to me. Garrett Marchbanks is going to be making his debut on Pro Circuit Kawasaki. He just got on the bike a couple weeks ago. Obviously, he got let go or whatever happened with Club MX. But yeah, he's back at Pro Circuit, starting a little early. Um, yeah, he's probably been on the bike 2 weeks now. What do you expect from Garrett at his first race on the Pro Circuit bike and really jumping back down to the 250 class outdoors?
I don't know. I mean, if he drops some of that injury weight off and he's been testing quite a bit with the guys, I wouldn't be surprised to see him running up front. I mean, that bike's legit.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're gonna we're gonna find out, dude. We'll see where he's at. I think he gained a few pounds when he was off, but I think he probably shredded that as hot as it's been in California, and as much as he's been riding, he probably whipped it back into shape pretty quick. I don't know. Be cool to see him run up front, and
yeah.
get a podium or something. I mean, he's got it under the hood to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, the last I heard before he got with Pro Circuit just to do these last few outdoors in SMX, what I heard was he wasn't even sure what he was going to do. So his contract doesn't really start till next year, but it's cool that he's getting in there early, getting experience with that bike. Will be able to race SMX. I think he's 20th currently, and if he gets points, he'll be fine. So, but here's a little spicy question for you. You have Masterpool, Kitchen, and Marchbanks. Do you think Marchbanks will finish ahead of either one of those two, or do you think he'll be the third guy on the team for the first couple of races he's on the bike?
I think Kitchen will probably finish in front of the two of them, but I don't know where Masterpool's at. I mean, Jet wheel chalked his ass at
Oh yeah,
Redbud, wasn't that? So
yeah. His
I don't think
back was sore.
I don't think Masterpool's been the same since. So hopefully whatever happened to him is kind of cleaned up. But I just don't know where he's at. I think you're gonna see, like, out of those guys, it'd be Kitchen, Marchbanks, Masterpool. But you never know. Masterpool may make me come out and eat my words, and
Yeah,
so be it.
yeah, for
You know.
sure. And we saw Masterpool last year at this race on a 450. He got eighth overall, so wasn't too bad. So he's definitely pretty good at this track. So we'll see. Another bummer for Club MX. Jet Reynolds, broken collarbone. I believe last week he'll be out. I think he wants to try to come back for SMX, even though he would be in the LCQ.
So
But
I
yeah,
talked to him. When he's out here in Orange County right now, and he's heading back out that way next week, but his plan is to heal up and be back for SMX is what he's going to do. But I don't know. I just like, oh, I just want to hit my head on the table when I heard that. And I'm like, bro, what up?
I
So
know.
yeah, I guess he got on that 450 and just didn't work out well, and shit happens. It's a learning lesson for everybody, and
Yep.
uh, hopefully we don't have that happen anytime soon, because he was just he was lofting
Yeah.
into the area he needed to be. So yeah, moto can be a real bitch sometimes, and this was one of those instances. But just hope he heals up. He's got a good attitude.
Mhm.
Looks like he re-signed for the year and
Yep.
for next year. So good on Jet. This was the year he really needed. I mean, Supercross kind of sucked for him, and he made it into a couple laps of the qualifying, but
He
all in
made it. He
all,
he made it out of press day. That was a step.
yeah. So I told him, dude, do not race east in January, man. Just
No.
go west, dude.
Yep. Yep.
Ride the soil, and
Yep.
this summer he's consistently gotten better. I mean, the
Yep.
fact that he got 12th and didn't race the second moto at Southwick, that was pretty sick.
Yeah,
Got a
he was.
10,
God, he was sitting on the
got his
line.
top.
Yeah, that's wild.
He
Yeah.
got his top 10. So super
Yeah.
stoked on the kid. So I think we just covered your whole Bakersfield
Yeah, we're good.
state part of the deal. So go Jet. Don't be a pussy. See you at Concord or wherever the hell that race is. ZMAX.
Zumax, yeah, yeah, and he was building like you said. He just finished the last race, Washougal, 10th overall. Yeah, he's been building, and yeah, he started to look kind of like that old Jet. And then, man, yeah, bummer. Thankfully, it's just a collarbone. I mean, it's not always fun to get hurt, and I'm sure he's sick of getting hurt. He's been hurt enough, but for all things considered, the collarbone, I'm sure he'll take over some other bad injuries. So yeah, happy to see him back. Happy to see him sign with Club MX for next year. It's cool he has a spot he doesn't have to worry about. So yeah, stoked for him. Um, and then really a couple other things is Deegan has a 54-point lead. This race last year, he was in the championship hunt with Hunter and Jay Coop, and then he had a bike malfunction that first moto and he ended up 10th the second moto. So he lost a whole ton of points that pretty much put him out of the championship hunt. But yeah, now he's got a 54-point lead, basically a full days of racing lead. So I don't know if Hayden's going to play the championship card. If he's going to settle, I don't know if I really see that in him, but maybe he will. I don't know, but if not, we'll see him out there full send. But I'm just curious if those guys are like, hey, thirds, fourths, second, it's fine. But I don't know if he's okay with that in his own head.
He's smart enough to back it down. We saw it at Washougal in
Yeah,
that
first
first
moto.
moto.
Yeah,
We saw it in the first moto. He's smart enough to back it down, but that kid's gonna go for the freaking gold, dude.
I know.
He has to bring his balls in on a flatbed every week. When you go by the Star Truck, there's a flatbed in the back with a cradle for his nutsack. But I mean, the kid's got balls, dude. He's gonna go for it. Um, he's gonna try and 1-1 the rest of this season and just stamp it. That dude wants to walk out of Bud's champion, guaranteed.
Yeah, he's still trying to get some of that. He wants to win for that bonus money to pay off that private jet he had to rent to get to Washougal. So
Oh, he already took care of that.
at Washougal. Yeah.
Yeah, Washougal took care of it, and that wasn't a freebie ride for everybody. Trust me. So,
Yeah.
but could you imagine if he didn't make that race and he lost that 50 points?
Yeah,
Holy shit!
he would basically, if you take away that and move everybody up, I mean, him and Vial would basically be tied in points, or Vial might even have the points lead, right? So that would have been wild. I don't know if that's ever happened in our sport, at least in the time I've been around watching it. I've never seen that. I know they had that holdout in Vegas that one year with the lights or something, but not people not
Yeah,
making it to the race because of travel. That would be insane. So,
yeah, it would definitely be trippy to see that happen, but I'm glad it didn't. I think I don't know. I kind of see he may pull it off after the first moto at Bud's if he has a real good weekend this weekend.
yeah.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities, and that would be pretty gnarly. But I think it's a pretty safe bet that he'll come out of Bud's with the title.
Yeah, because if you look behind, so Vial's 54 points back, like I mentioned. But then after that, Kitchen's 70, Hymas is 86 and Shimoda's 90. So I mean, Vial is the only hope, I guess, at this moment. But even then, it's a long shot. Hayden would have to have something
I mean,
catastrophic happen.
think of this: if something happens to Vial in that first moto at Washougal, I mean at Unadilla, something happens to him, and Kitchen has a bad moto, he could
Yes.
win the title after the first. If Tom DNF'd, and that could put him in a position to win the title at Unadilla.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
mean,
pretty
imagine
clear.
that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear for both classes, who the favorites are. They have with Chase having a 28-point lead and kind of taking the run, and Hunter really losing the wind in the sails. And then, yeah, Deegan, he's just been crushing it all summer. So it's his to lose again, unless he has an injury or something catastrophic happens. I just think it's a long shot for these guys. Yeah, anything else in the 250 to 450 class that you want to chat about before I jump into some of the bets you can make on Bet Online?
No, just I really want to see where Dylan Schwartz ends up. Hopefully he can get in that top 5, top 10 again. He's one I've been really paying attention to, and I think everybody really ought to take a look at him. If you're not, the
Yeah.
kid's just quietly kicking ass this summer. And then I was pretty surprised about McElrath getting fired. I knew he wasn't very happy with that Suzuki when I talked to him at Southwick,
Yeah.
but didn't think it would be booted out by the end of or before the nationals were over. But with Colton coming on board, they probably just said, "Hey, it's probably just best you go." And everybody kind of knew he was going to Mad Parts anyway, so good for him. I liked his post. He kind of made a fun joke about, well, that was the first for me. I've never been fired before, But
I know. And when
when
you
you
talk
if
and
you've
you when
ever
you
met him, he's the nicest guy. So he just
he
probably took it
is.
and rolled with it,
Yeah, he probably apologized for getting fired. He's
Yeah, no shit. I'm
dude.
sorry you
Yeah.
fired me, man. I hope you can deal with this. That's
Yeah,
shamed.
yeah, he really is a really nice guy. I've talked to him a few times, interviews and stuff, and it's a bummer,
Yeah.
right? He just hasn't had that success in the 450 class. He was obviously really good in the 250 class and almost, was really close to winning a title on Star and was really good on the other teams he was on. So
That dude
yeah,
is an expert on all things factory 450s, and he's
dude,
been on every team since he went into the 450s, dude. He's
I
rode every
know.
bike.
Hopefully he's
So
more, maybe he's more comfortable on the Kawasaki, and we'll see what he can do.
we
But
we need to get a hold of him to do some test riding when he retires, because he's gonna know all these bikes like the back of his hand.
seriously. Yeah, and that's one thing I did miss. I forgot Colt Nichols, I believe, is going to be back this weekend at Unadilla. Signed with that team, like you said, kind of taking over McElrath's spot. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he slots in. I know his last national he did last year at Washougal, he went 10-10. He was on like a borrowed Transworld or a Swap Moto Live Kawasaki 450 at that time. So yeah, he hasn't had a lot of time on the bike. I've seen him riding Paula down south and stuff, so it's a lot different than Unadilla will be. But yeah, again, so we'll see what Colt does this weekend, and it's cool to see Colt coming back. We all know about the beta thing and just didn't work out. So yeah, at least he landed back on his feet somewhere.
Yeah.
So I want
What are
to
the bets?
Yeah, so Bet Online AG, I was just checking them out. So if you go on to Bet Online AG, there's a motocross tab on there, and you can see the different bets they have for 250 and 450 class. And they have multiple bets that you can make. So I'll start with the 250 class. You can pick odds to win. You can also go whole shot if you wanted to get a little crazy, and then you can also bet head to head. And a few of them that jumped out to me was the first one is Hayden Deegan versus the field. So obviously he's the favorite, but it's minus 225 and the field's plus 185. So basically, if you want to bet anyone else other than Hayden Deegan wins, you have really good odds. It's plus 185. Bet $100, win 185. So yeah, that's one. If I was to bet, that might be it. But again, that's only me thinking if Hayden wants to back it down just to control his championship. So you're basically betting anybody other than Hayden Deegan wins. And then you could do whole shot. Hayden Deegan's minus 400, even though he gets good starts. So that's probably one I'd stay away from. Odds to win, though. I mean, Hayden's minus 225. Then you have Vial plus 230, Kitchen plus 300, Shimoda plus 700, which I think that's one that I like. Joe
I
is
think I'm
going
gonna go drop a few bucks on Joe, because that
yeah.
one I've been saying it,
Yep.
and I got to stand by my word. So I'll probably go put $100 on Joe.
Yeah, I mean, again, plus 700, and he's been having really good results as we go, later in the summer. And yeah, it's if again, if you want to take a chance on somebody, those are pretty good odds to take. Obviously, bet responsible. Don't bet money you don't have. But yeah, that for the
Bet your
250.
wife's money. Just
Yeah,
get into your wife's account and use your wife's account.
yeah, use somebody else's money. So those were really the two that stood out to me for the 250 class. Jumping into the 450 class, it's the same thing. You could pick the winner, whole shot, or head to head. Chase Sexton's the favorite at minus 250, so 250 to win $100. Probably pretty good chance of winning, but still you're putting up a lot of money to win. Really, not a whole lot. But then they have Ken Roczen at plus 275, which is pretty good. Hunter Lawrence plus 350. AP plus 700. So again, that might be a little sneaky. He's good at that track. He's good in those conditions. So um, I I feel like the start whole shot bet for the 450 class would be one I would want to take a, a chance on. Hunter Lawrence, those Hondas have been really good on starts all year long. I don't know the stats of how many whole shots he has, but I know he's been up front a lot. So he's got a plus 130 odds on whole shot. Sexton's has negative, J Coop's negative. So yeah, you'd have to bet more money to win. So if you're looking at odds, you have Roczen at plus 130 and Hunter Lawrence at plus 130.
What's Justin Cooper?
He's minus
What's
three,
his?
minus 150. So they know he's a good starter and it's home track.
He's a good starter home track. Yeah, I wouldn't be
It,
surprised if he pulled one.
yeah, so I think they're getting smarter over there. They're like, okay, Justin Cooper, New York, he's a good starter. Yeah, we're probably going to give him not very good odds. So, um, and then these two or these three head to heads are pretty interesting. You have Aaron Plessinger versus Jason Anderson, which I mean, flip a coin. I feel like AP is a little bit stronger, but it's
AP,
but again, they're so close. But yeah, AP's the
AP,
favorite, minus 155. And then this one's Justin Cooper versus Jason Anderson.
J Coop.
J Coop, I agree. Pretty close odds, minus 125 to minus 105.
If it's Supercross, I'd flip it.
Yeah, agreed. And then this one's fun. Ken Roczen versus Hunter Lawrence. Same odds. Flip a coin.
I shit. One's coming off an injury. One's
I
coming
know.
off of who knows. I'm gonna stick with Hunter. I like Hunter.
Yeah, I would, because I don't know what's going on with Hunter. And maybe he's fine after the break and he got some rest, but I just know how Kenny is when he comes out with these one-off races. He wants to show these guys that he's still.
Pep fired my boy McElrath, dude. So I'm gonna go with Hunter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we know how Kenny though. Kenny comes out firing to these races. You forget who he is, and he comes out, and you're like, that is Ken Roczen. He's really good. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, again, check out betonline.ag. There's the motocross tab on there. You can see the bets for the 250 and the 450 class. A lot of cool things you can do. So check them out. Before we wrap this up, I want to get your podiums for both the 250 and the 450 class. So I'll let you start.
Oh, I think it's gonna be Chase, AP, and Coop, Justin Cooper.
Okay, so no Roczen,
remember
huh?
Cooper? No, hell no. We don't bet on Roczen around here. Cooper Webb's coming back too, so that could be spicy.
Oh,
but
yeah, you're right.
I think it's gonna be Chase, AP, and then Justin Cooper.
What about 250s?
250s. I'm gonna go with Shimoda, Deegan, yeah.
Okay. So you think Shimoda's going to take that win? I see what you're doing. You want that bet to pay out. I like it.
I've been preaching that he's going to win, and I just think he's going to do it. I have that feeling. He's always rode really well at that track, and
yep.
I just think it's his time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be him, Deegan, and then Vial.
Yeah, and you know how it is. Towards the end of the season, Joe gets better and usually pulls off a win or two. So not a bad guess there. For me, 450 class, I'm going to go Sexton, Roczen, Hunter Lawrence. And then 250 class, I'm going to go. 250 class, I want to say Deegan's going to play it safe with that issues he had there last year. So I think Tom Vial's going to get the win. I think Deegan will be second. And it toss up between Kitchen and Hymus, I think, for me for third, but I'm gonna go with Kitchen for third. So I always enjoy the 250 class, man. It's these from first to 15th to 20th almost. Those guys are just sending it.
Yeah,
So
you don't know who's going to win.
no, it's insane. 450 class is pretty reasonable. Top seven, you kind of know where everybody slots in. Then after the top 10, you kind of get into privateer. So I really enjoy 250 class. But yeah, that's it for sight lap for Unadilla. Unfortunately, Jeff, you won't be there to get that sky shot, but we'll be able to see it on TV. So
And we'll have some stuff coming in from some of our boys out there and girls, but keep posted. But we'll be back swinging hard at Buds and Ironman.
sounds good. Well, we'll catch you guys for writers meeting after Unadilla. See you.